Nina is going to explain its complexity of the amazing work she's done.
Let's go through the science bit.
The science bit. Okay.
I'll try. Going to try and match Colette's fantastic presentation. Okay, so we've talked about, Colette has explained the rationale behind like why we started doing this project. I'm going to talk about how are we going to do it. Okay, we've talked about why. Now we're going to do, okay, how is it going to work from 1st of October? That's what I'm going to talk about. So as just to sum up on Colette's presentation, okay, we started this project in 2007. We all came together with one common objective. Okay, we need to have a common enrollment database between the 4 schools. The 4 schools together in this project between Adamstown Castle, Esker, Lucan East, and Riffin Valley. And we also we thought about, okay, we have a common database, but we have to come up with a fair system to allocate. How are we going to allocate between the 4 schools? So we need to come up with a fair system. So as Colette said, okay, we came up with, in 2007, when we go back into notes, the criteria was huge. We had habitual residents. I was looking at the notes. We had choice, parental choice. We had choice 1, choice 2, choice 3, choice 4. We had a whole load of criteria. We thought, okay, this is not going to work. So we came up with this, after all the debates, discussions, going back and forth. As I said, we're not rushing into it. We didn't rush into it. We took our time. We took nearly 7 years to do this. It runs over 2 boards of management. That's what we are at. So we came up with, okay, first we'll sort out according to age. The oldest children get in first, and then we will try not to separate the families. So we'll have the parents will have a choice to send in to the school where the oldest sibling goes to. And then we will see, the rest of the people, we will allocate according to proximity. So how we are going to work is, so there's going to be one common enrollment form. So it's going to be a simple 1-sheet common enrollment form with you filling your details, your address, and your siblings' details, and any other school your older children go to. And then you can go into any of the 4 schools to apply. There's no need to queue up. There's not a first come first served system. I queued up for my child at 3 o'clock to get into the school I wanted. So there's no need for that. There's no need to queue up. It opens only the year before the entry. October 1st of the year before entry, and it will be open until March of the year of entry. So there's no need to rush. You have plenty of time to apply, and all applications received after the March will be added to a waiting list. So you might still get a chance after March. And all the applications as it comes in, there's no order of application, there's no running order. You won't get your order number 1, order number 2, no, none of that. It doesn't matter whether you apply on 1st of October or 28th of February, it doesn't matter. So it will be just added as it comes, but there's in no particular order. So all applications will be added to a common enrollment database. That's where Aladdin comes in. Aladdin has designed this wonderful enrollment form. The 4 schools already use Aladdin system for our to keep up with our data. So this is going to be another link in with the 4 schools. It's going to be a common page where the secretaries can go in and enter the enrollment form, and it will be added to a common database. Once we have that, in March, when the date comes in, we are going to, the 4 principals will know how many vacancies they have in their school. So they will add in, for example, we have, in total we have 60 places between, or 100 places in between the 4 schools. So we know that out of 500 applications, we can only choose 100. We can only allocate 100 children. So those 100 children, so the total number of places, so the principals will add in, come together, will add in how many total number of places between the 4 schools we have. So that will be added to the Lucan Common Enrollment System. And then the database will be sorted according to age, oldest to youngest. And the first X number of applications will be selected. This forms the cohort. So all this cohort, every one of them will get a place in one of the 4 schools. And the remaining applicants, unfortunately, have to go into the waiting list. So that's our first criteria is age. So the oldest children, oldest X number of applications will get a place in one of the 4 schools. And the second one we are going to do is siblings. So in your enrollment form, there is a column which asks for, do you want to opt out for do you want to go in for sibling priority? So parents have a choice to choose in siblings. If they tick siblings, then it will ask for, okay, which school does your child go to? So if I have a child going to, as Colette said, if I have a child going to, one child going to Esker, one child going to Lucan East, one child going to Griffin Valley, then I have, as a parent, I have an option to choose for which school am I asking the sibling priority. So the choice is, there again, the choice is the parent's choice, because they already have a child going in one of the 4 schools, then they can choose which school they want to opt out for. And at the same time, parents say, no, you know what, I don't want to go in for the sibling priority. I want the system to allocate. The parents have a choice to opt out of the sibling priority as well. If they opt out for the sibling priority, then the application will be chosen according to the distance between where they live and between the school. And parents who currently have more than one children attending more than one of the 4 schools, then they can nominate which school they want to access the sibling status for. And the remaining applications in the cohort. So those will be the first criteria. After the age, siblings will be allocated first, and they would have an option to respond. So they would be offered first in March, and then they would have an option to either accept the application or accept the offer or refuse. And then based on that, the second round of offer will go. That will be based on the proximity. Okay, this is where all the debates and discussions, how are we going to calculate the distance between the schools and where they live. So we thought, okay, the fairest way is to use the Google Maps and as the crow fly distance. So the GPS coordinate, as you enter into the Aladdin, as the secretaries enter the enrollment form into the Aladdin database, each applicant's address, the GPS coordinate of the applicant's address will be determined, will be added at the background to the database. And then the schools have the GPS location, and the distance will be calculated between the GPS location of the school and the GPS location of the student's address. As the crow flies distance, it doesn't calculate on the road distance or shortcuts or, I can jump over the fence, I just live there, I can jump over. No, it only as the crow flies distance. And each application is given a weight. So this is, again, so complex. We have run so much tests. I have a laptop full of test data to go through this. I have done various tests just to calculate the distance weight. So this is done using a formula, the distance between the GPS coordinates multiplied by 100. So each application is given a distance weight. So we want to choose the application with the lowest distance weight. So that's the closest to a particular school. So once the siblings has been offered, then the schools will know, okay, after the siblings have been offered, I have, like Colette may have 10 remaining place in her school, Tom may have 5 remaining place in his school, and so forth. So then Tom will say, I need 5 people for my school. So Tom will choose the 5 closest from the applicants, from the remaining in the cohort, 5 closest to him. And Colette will choose the 10 closest to her, based on the distance weight. So each school chooses the applicant with the lowest distance weight as the child closest to them. So this is the second bit of the proximity calculation. And then once we have that, then 4 schools will have the allocated list based on the allocation algorithm, and the schools will start offering the places, and then the applicants can either accept or refuse. Within 2 weeks, they have the time, 2 weeks time to either accept or refuse. There's no rollover. You cannot you cannot defer the place in this system. At the moment you can defer the place for the following year. You have to reapply again. We decided not to have deferral for this, and the applicants will be removed from the list if they haven't responded or if they have refused a place. You can't defer. So you have to basically go again in October and apply again. And any vacancies remaining after the first round of offers based on the refusal will go in for the second round and subsequent rounds. So that's what we have at the moment. And that's me, the system. And we would like to thank Aladdin for their support because this project wouldn't have run without the backbone support of Aladdin. We've been hunted for 7 years now and we've patiently waited, patiently ran through the policies, so thank you so much for this full school community. And again, Educate Together has done a fantastic support for us. And I know Dee Manyong is here, the CEO of Educate Together. We are so grateful to have you here today. Thank you so much for support of Educate Together. At the initial meetings, Educate Together actually facilitated. We always have a national office representative mediating between the 4 schools at the initial start. So we are very grateful to have you. And to the media, we have huge media presence here. Thank you so much. And all of you patiently listening to myself and Colette talking for the past half an hour. So thank you so much.